Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is Enzo and today we're going to be analyzing some public games in OpenFrontIO in order to improve at the game. So I thought it would be a fun idea to analyze some subscriber games, but just to get us started, I figure I'm going to analyze some of these public games to see if we can get any insights on the meta, give you some thoughts about how games evolve and various other things. So looking at the start of this game, I have not seen this before, so I don't really know. In terms of the spawns, I really like Ireland right here in the south, just because there's a lot of space. A lot of people, I think, really opt for England on this map, and this is a map I actually really like a lot. So this guy spawned down here. I almost wish he went in this area because it's a big pocket right here, and that would give him a little bit more opening stuff, but he's a little bit closer here. So let's speed up the game a little bit, see what's going on, look at overall map dynamics. One of the interesting things you can already see at the start is how the Trade Syndicate in here, they're going for this island. This seems kind of like a memey thing. It honestly would be kind of a fun game to try to win from this island. But with where we're at the start, everyone's getting up their initial attacks. Like I said, I really like the Slovak guy. He's got a good position. I think KLM's got a good position here too with the Nepalese flag. One of the things I'll say on this map is if you're new to OpenFront, this spawn is always crazy. There's so many like French role players here who I feel like this area is just like madness. That it's honestly like kind of a noob spawn. Like the idea, I'm gonna have this island, I'm gonna do good, and that's gonna be it. So we can see Aimp over here in England that he's getting crowned. He's got some NPCs around him. I didn't know Wessex is right here. Generally on this map, I think like an NPC hotspots around here, which there are pros and cons with. We see Loki getting up a city right there. And PLNK, it looks like they're just a new player. So this is just going to give KLM a little bit of an advantage, doing really good with the annexations here. There's actually quite a few NPCs in Ireland, which can give you another type of advantage. So I really like how he looks in the game. Everyone else, it's just kind of iffy. Like this guy up here, this is probably kind of a role player. Non-stop needs to be pushing way, way faster. I can already tell you that. You should already have these cleared. You do not need to be going that slow. One disadvantage of this type of replay thing is we do not get to see the alliances. But with KLM right here, he looks to have already pushed Iraq here. I'm a little concerned about how low he's gone on troops, but he likely has alliances with some of these other people around here. Oh, yeah. He just took out Iraq. So maybe Iraq was being like a little bit too low. Don't know how much is in that boat, but if it was more than 1%, it's probably an issue. He's getting pushed. So a lot of the game and the movement, I think it's going to come from over here. And I could also see some right here doing really well because, like I said, Ireland looked super good at the start. And if you look at the leaderboard, he's right at the top. So besides all this, it looks like this Palestinian guy, he got a little bit better, but a lot of this southern area is pretty deadlocked. You got the French noob corner, and some looks great. Right here, this betrayal from Mole, horrible choice. He has got so many people around him who can just push him. It's just inviting people to attack you. I mean, there's a reason it's a joke that the #1 rule of OpenFront is to never betray. And actually, if you look on the other side of the board, you can see Metmois, the French guy with Turkish flag. He's doing good. Nonstop betrayed. This is a little bit less risky just because he has less push risk from other people. Like if Julius isn't over here, he doesn't have that big a deal if he's just pushing one person, but then again, Sway probably should have responded right there. So I think right here, one of the dynamics we're seeing is, you know, Sum's pretty low on troops, and I could see this area getting stalled out. So, like, one of the things, if we hit spacebar in these games, then again, I guess it doesn't really matter. Maybe having, like, more density and, like, of players in this part of the map changes some things. Because what Metz La Mole is probably doing at this point, he's so big that no one can really rival him. Yo-Yo's totally crazy. This is probably given up, and this is probably just going to mean a snowball, that he can just kind of wait around and pick people off, like, one by one. I think for these series, if I do them in the future, it'd be honestly better to just follow, like, one individual, because we kind of missed how this got a little bit ahead, even with, like, Ireland looking good. And you even see in Ireland, you see the Lane Yang bot right here next to KLM to the right. They're still in the game. Even Munster's still in the game. So the fact that KLM has not cleared this, that's just like inefficiency on this end. And this looks like a game that you can pretty much run away with. Looking at the overall gold count too, it seems like because of probably some of this map setup, you're not getting as many factory maxing stuff. So this is probably going to play like more traditional open front. It's actually really interesting seeing this game too, how long some of these nations have lasted. And I feel like that's just like misplay on some people's parts. Like I think Diefed should have been taken out at this point. I think that's like probably too long. You can see the noob corner, Diego going down. Anon 470 right here. Not sure what to say. He should be defense posting, and probably if he was push and die fed when this alliance timer is going down, he needs to be more conscious of that. Now, at this point in the game, everyone who's in this lobby needs to be on like freaking red alert, because this guy, Met Lamois, he's got a 15% advantage. He can pretty much one-shot whoever he wants. He just got to a new zone. He's probably going to run away with this. If it was a different map and there was more factory maxing money, which you hardly actually see any factories on this map. Like, you see some in Ireland, but it might not be in time. You might have more time to wait. And part of the problem with even these factories right here, they're also going to be helping the crown. So from his perspective, like how he's probably going to play this, he's just going to wait till an alliance expires. He doesn't need a betray. He's putting in a bomb somewhere, which this is actually really interesting and something I don't like. I think instead of launching the bomb from all the way over here like this base, he should have just put up a missile silo. I mean, he's even bombing himself right there. Because if you're going to do like a Hydra, which I guess he doesn't have, even then, I don't even understand why I needed an atom bomb. And here he's going in here. Silly, probably, well, he needed to put his warship a little bit closer. I mean, it's not that complicated in this type of thing. So Silly's panicking. He's pretty much given up. He doesn't really have any opportunity. Everyone else, it's really, really tough to think about stuff. Like, if I was Sum over here, I might try to keep on getting up my economy. I would not push Trade Syndicate just because typically if there's someone like snowballing the game, you don't want to weaken people next to the crown because Trade Syndicate can potentially fight the crown. And I would not be putting up Sams necessarily. I might even consider putting up putting in Hydras right here. Because one of the things about these smaller maps that I don't know if everyone recognizes, if you get to the point in the game where Hydras start flying, anything can happen. And especially on this balance with how strong trains can be, you can actually have a lot more time than in past versions of OpenFront. So all I really expect here, I think that these guys right here, I think they're totally cooked, and I think it's totally doomed. And Catharsis and Anon 872, all they can really do is basically try to put warships between here and prepare. Aimpier, if I was him, I would have hoped I could have gotten up a Hydra. I'm not sure if he's wasting money. He's putting up defense posts, which I guess is good, but it's kind of just doomed. So Catharsis is going to cannibalize his friend right here. And their priority needs to be to defend this channel. It's not that complicated. They probably should just go with like the kind of strategy of just sacking warships. And at this point, oh, we get some multiple betrayals up here. Trade Syndicate's going to capitalize, but one of the interesting things about this position is Met Lamois is in such a good position that he could probably betray most people simultaneously. Oh, and it doesn't even matter. This is actually really bad from Trade Syndicate. He should have known better that this alliance was going to expire at that time, and you can't push right before that. So Sum right here, he's going to take out this, but he very well could be too late. Nonstop up here, he likes to betray, and he's basically just asking for death because anyone can click on this. Anyone really probably like a couple minutes ago, like if I was Sum, I would have just considered launching Hydras on the crown. And it still might have been too late. Because you have to understand in these games, like a lot of new players, I think they just get so like tunnel visioned on like their own zone, like I'm gonna win Ireland, and then you zoom out and someone has 47%. So the kind of main thing at this point in the game, Sum has a few priorities if he wants to try to stop the crown. Number one objective, you cannot let anyone cross. That is like absolutely key. Met Lamois, he needed to betray nonstop when he had that opportunity, because he can just kind of wait around and do whatever. He honestly might be playing with his food. And this from Sum, I don't necessarily agree with this. Like, I can get why you might do this, but I feel like you're kind of playing for second place at this point in time, because I wouldn't be fighting people. I would trying to be communicating and going for other individuals, not destroying a potential ally that you can have trains with, you can have trade with. Met Lamois just continuing to one-shot people, and I think that's really that he got some type of advantage early. You can't stop it, and most open front games are kind of like this, that people don't know what's going on. I think the interesting thing about this is how there's a lot less gold on the map. Trade Syndicate here, not much to do. He's definitely going to help Sum. And Catharsis with the noob corner, I don't think there's really anything. And also, I just say, like, if these guys are allies, it's honestly such a second place play. Like, Sum should be putting in warships right here because he needs to protect that. And I think the only way there can really be a route into the game is Sum has to, like, collaborate with some of these other people. And you even see Met Lamois, He's putting in a Hydra right here. It's not necessarily the fastest Hydro. I feel like Sum is just kind of like sitting there like semi-clueless and like not knowing what's going on because he's not even protecting this border. And he's just getting pummeled. But I think in many ways, the game was decided like quite a long time ago. And I think the lesson from this is, oh, he's even just retaking irradiated land while not protecting his border, is you have to keep an eye on the crown and you need to pay attention to that. Because Met Lamotte, even if he's going like a little bit slow, like it doesn't really matter because no one else coordinated. So we'll just turn this up to full speed. And what I'll say with this is the video ending, because there's not really oh, you know what? Some actually is getting close to Merv. I feel like this guy is playing with his food though. Yeah, he's actually gonna Merv him, but I don't think this will even matter, honestly. Because even if he gets over, and he screwed up a freaking boat right there, Met Lamotte, oh, maybe this isn't over. I was gonna tell you how you can submit your games. This is like, if this guy loses it, this shows like immense, like just madness. Oh my God, I don't even know what to say. The fact that this is an open front game, it's kind of crazy. Like population, like occupation percentage can be really good, but this guy just had a complete win. All he had to do was like boat over. So I don't even understand that. I was just waiting for this to be victory. So this changes everything. It's no longer that simple. And the Turkish guy is basically just gonna give the game to this dude because he sat around. Huh. Well, that's kind of interesting. That adds a turn of events. With this point, oh, people need to be thinking about this. You get betrayal from that in pushback. Non-stop's betraying. And the gold on the map, the thing you got to be concerned about with Non-stop is he's getting really close to Merv. So we're not going to take any of this for granted. I guess this is like, it almost reminds me of like a Guess the Elo game. Met Lamotte, you do not have the max Elo. The interesting thing about here is just seeing how much trade is back forth with Non-stop and this guy, and how there haven't been kind of capitalizations. But I think we're almost getting to the point where it's just going to be stalled. I mean, Trade Syndicate has pretty much an invincible base. I would not be messing with him at this point in time, because he's also kind of like an economic powerhouse with 50 freaking ports right here. You can see like all those crazy ports. And I would not be messing with that. I would be trying to clear up like some other people, not trying to clear someone who can cause you tons of harm and do stuff like this. Like I would be trying to get over here, put a Hydro on some, and then that be it. Because I think all that's going to happen now with Met Lamotte, he's just going to eat another Merv, and that's going to be it. And you actually see here, Sum puts in a massive, basically, attack. And if this guy gets Merved, he's just going to be taken out. So I don't know if this is like every open front IO game ever that people just like do stuff like this. Because it seems like this guy is like, just like on Struggle Street. Like all he needed to do was get across. And instead of like doing something different, he's pushing the guy with the Merv. He's getting Merved. He probably has no trade partners, and he's going to lose his entire base to like this attack right here. So I think this is like an insane fumble. I don't think Sum played well either, because I think he just kind of sat there for too long and was just fortunate that this guy decided not to invade him here. The only kind of curiosity I have, which you can see it's already getting up to 70%. People, if they want to have a chance, like Non-stop and Trade Syndicate, it is go time, man. Like, you've got to do something, and it is not in some wins. So that's a crazy game. Let me know if any of you want to submit some games, like you have a question or you have an interesting one, and maybe we can feature them on the channel. So take care, everyone. Bye-bye.